Hi everyone, it's Nat here. Hope you're all well. I'm on with a flip through of my completed Victorian travel journal that I'm making for Aunty Vera Scrap and Craft. So the theme is my island home, and earlier this year I went to a crafty retreat over in Victoria, and it was a great journey for me driving across this interstate. So I wanted to document that and had all these bits and pieces but nowhere to put them. So I've whipped this together to put them in. And the papers from the Sweeping Plains collection were awesome for making this. So in my previous video, you would have seen me make a couple of the pockets that I recycled and put in here. But I've pretty well finished it now, other than my printer did run out of ink. So it's missing a couple of the photos that I'd like to put in sometime. But other than that, all the pages are done, and so I thought I'd like to show you. So I showed last time how I was using these covers of a journal that I picked up from the second-hand shop, and they're wood, painted wood. And I did have rings, so it was ring bound, but it got so chunky very quickly that I've actually replaced that with some ribbons. Now I'll probably remove these sometime and put a heavier duty ribbon in, but for now they'll do. So here's a little dangle that I got from Aunty Vera as well, and these flourishes, although they're not in the chosen products for this month, but still check them out because she had a whole heap of wonderful stuff in the clearance section, so I made the most of that the other day. So I've just layered some of the Sweeping Plains papers here with some book page and some paper with some stickers on for the Victoria. This is one of the beautiful cutouts from the papers, and I've just layered it on some hessian, and I've just left the back plain as it was. So here I used the paper to make a little tuck, and one of the beautiful die cuts that I have of wattle to put a little die cut there. And I've made a little tuck spot with, I bought the Sweeping Plains ephemera, and that came out of that. So I made a little pocket with that and used a scrap piece to make a little journaling card. And these are just some bits of paper that I had in a little travel journal here that I've just slipped in. So I can write some journaling notes and that, and I can either leave them in this pocket or I can cut them out and put them where I want them within this journal. So this is some information about my trip, and I've just sprayed it with my oxides so it's not so white. So I'll just move that out. A bit of the ephemera, and I used a brad in the middle, and this is a piece of the ephemera too that says Outback, and that just slips up in there. Now this is a map of the area that I drove across, all the way down here from South Australia down to Ballarat. And I've just used an offcut of the papers to strengthen the edge of it there. So that just folds up and that slips in there, or it can slip in there either or either. And on the other side of the map, because I didn't need to use that map, I have put my itinerary. So I got the itinerary word out of a travel journal that I have here, and I printed out the itinerary, and that again I sprayed with my oxide sprays. It fits in nicely with that page. There's a bit of the ephemera, the beautiful parrot. Some more ephemera up here. This is a piece of paper. I used some on the front cover that has the leaves as well. And they were the start page to a book that I had here. And it had this note page in the back. So I stuck the note page onto the start page, just made it nice and thick. And so there's a journaling spot there. And then I've got photos of the beginning of my trip. There are a lot of towers, silos, towers, all sorts on the way. So I took photos of them. There's one of the wooden flourishes that I've coloured in with a little tuck spot made out of some of the beautiful papers. And I've just chucked in some of my memorabilia that I got along the way. I went to a scrapbooking shop, of course. So there's another photo. I think I've got another one that I want to put up there, so I've left that blank. And I also will go through and put titles of the towns. I haven't done that yet. because I was still figuring out if there's any more photos and that I want to add. So that'll be something that I'll have to do in the future, is put some titles and write my notes. I've got a whole heap of notes that I want to write. So, but I wanted to show you before I mess it up with my handwriting. So there's a sign of Tailem Bend and Canalpin, which I drove through Tailem Bend on my way to Canalpin. Backed onto, this is now I showed this in my previous video. It's the bottom of a paper bag from the shop that I've created 2 pockets out of. So I've covered that with beautiful paper, all from the Sweeping Plains collection, and also the die cut embellishments and one of my wooden flourishes. And I've made a little journaling card out of this piece that slips in here under this little Hessian pocket. Now it's a pocket here which I've put some more pages out of the travel journal that I can journal on, and I've put some Hessian in between the pockets there, so that slips in there. And then on this side we've got the same, another pocket there with some pages in that I can journal on. So this is beautiful. I'm pretty sure that was Canalpin, so that's a silo art that's there. There's a trail over in Victoria where you can go to all these places that have the silo art, and I'm thinking I might go back over there and do the trail sometime. So I was able to take a photo of that one. Now this is the beautiful paper, and I've made a tuck spot in the bottom. There's one of my sprayed pages that I use the Distress Oxide sprays on, and I use the negative of one of the die cuts to make that. And this is just information that I grabbed along the way, and it has a lot of information of places that I can visit if I go back over to Victoria. Beautiful back of the page. So I have left room to add more photos or put my journaling spots. So this is the packaging from the die cut ephemera. It's beautiful. So I just stuck up the bottom, covered this side with paper. It says Windmills of the Gods too, this page, which I thought was pretty fitting because there's a few photos of windmills in here. And I don't know how you pronounce this town, but it's Ngarkat, something like that. So that's a sign. I liked the sign, so I stopped and took a photo of that. And there's some of my coloured wooden flourishes. And it's a pocket there that I can slip something into, journaling spot. So on the other side, I did cut a bit of the die cut ephemera packaging off and made a little journaling card, and I've backed that with my oxide sprays. They look so good. I just love them. I have to get all the colours now. That'll take a while. Another one of my wooden flourishes as a dangle on there. One of my beautiful die cuts. And I just made a pocket with the oxide sprayed paper as well. So this I showed on my previous video too. It's one of your big yellow envelopes that I cut and folded to make some tuck spots in. So we've got a tuck spot down here with some of the die cut ephemera and Hessian, one of my negatives. This is another one of the starting pages from one of the books here. That's just a journaling spot. And then it's got a page here that says Country Town, which I thought was fitting. And these photos are of Border Town, which I went through, which is near the border of South Australia and Victoria. And of course, a windmill. So this just slips in there. Then the other side, I can fit a whole lot of stuff in here. So what I put in was the pamphlets that I picked up along the way. I went to Gail's Patchwork Emporium and the Inn of Kong, beautiful Chinese and beautiful fabrics. And there's one about Ballarat bird life, which I might be interested in the future as well. So they slip in quite nicely just in there. And I've just clipped this part down here with the die cut ephemera so it can be a little tuck spot. Just grabbing a tag to show you. So we can fit something in there, and we can fit something in there as well if we want to. So then I've got a couple of blank pages because at this stage I would have been at my retreat. So I've left a whole lot of area blank because I need to get some information and do a lot of journaling about what I did on my crafty retreat. Absolutely gorgeous pages. And there's one of my paper clips that I made in my previous project of a kookaburra. Now this is a paper bag that I folded up the bottom and cut it down to make 2 pockets, and then the pocket in the top. So in the top here I've got a map of Ballarat for future reference. And then if I take those out and this out, some of the beautiful paper. It's just glorious. It's like watercoloured scenes. One of my wooden flourishes. These were bits from the die cut embellishments, and I've just layered it with a bit of the cotton that came off some of my fabric. Cut some of the paper out. Beautiful scene there. That can just be journaled on. Little fabric tab there that slips in. Now this is a piece out of the papers as well that I cut out, and I put that onto an envelope so I can journal and put receipts or whatever information in there if I want to. And then this is a postcard that I picked up on my trails, and that is about the silo art, so it shows you where to go to follow the silo art. So I thought that'd be cool. I'll put that in here because when I go to Victoria sometime again, I can take this journal with me and fill it up some more. So they just sit in there. So this has windmills, or those wind turbines. There were so many wind turbines on the way. An offcut here, and that is a tuck spot as well, so I can put papers in there if I want. This is a pocket that I made from one of these. The lovely lady who ran the retreat gifted me a whole heap of these, and they're awesome because they're really, really sturdy. So I used one of those to make this pocket, and that's a YMCA op shop that I went to, which is like a second-hand store. So I took a photo of that. So I've covered the little pocket in papers. And I've just used a Project Life card that I've cut down and stamped on as a journaling spot. That fits in there. Takes a bit of wriggling, but it does get in there. And then on the other side, a bit of the paper, which is just beautiful, so I'll probably just leave that. Now, this page has koalas on it, which I love, and that is the giant koala at Dadswell Bridge, Victoria. So I saw him on the way to the retreat, and he was on the other side of the road. So on the way back, I made a note to stop in and see him. He is a creepy looking dude, I tell you. I mean, imagine driving past that in the middle of the night. Anyway, that's one of my great memories, so I put that in there. And so on this page we have photos of the giant koala and the information board that's there. He's creepy, and you go inside him to the tourist centre or whatever. Now this page I've left a lot blank in because I'm going to have photos of the Grampians and the Green Lake that I went past as well. That's where my printer ran out of ink, so... I love the way it looks like the red dirt of the outback. So there's another one of my birdie paper clips that I made, and that holds onto this, which is about it's an antique collectible shop that I went to and bought a whole heap of stuff on my way home. Great shop, so I'll definitely go there again when I'm over that way. And then the last page I made out of a recycled business envelope. So I've cut this picture out of the papers that I got, and I made little cuts in these little bits as well. So it made all these interesting tuck spots. So in here, I have a photo of the antique and collectible place that I visited. In here these are die cut from the die cut ephemera bits. So they make good little journaling cards. So they can slip in there, and in here. So I slipped, was it this one in here? Yeah. And then I slipped that one in there, I think. A bit like that will do. He was on top, I think. And I cut this envelope open. So on this side, you've got the window, and I put one of the stamped and die cut kookaburras. So I got that stamp and die cut, and it's a mini stamp and die cut from Aunty Vera for the month. And this is the negative of the die cut there that I've sprayed with oxide. Now this is cut out of a photo of Tintinara that I visited on the way back. Very interesting place that. I'd have a better look around there next time I'm in the area as well. I've just put some off-cut there, and then it opens up like a book. So I sliced the envelope the whole way around so it would flip open. And these are photos from Tintinara. It has these metal, not statues, but they're gorgeous. It's a man and his sheepdog herding some sheep. And there's a windmill there as well. I'll just show you a bit closer if I can. Ooh. And birdies on the pile of whatever that is, mulch, and some emus there. So there was a lot of that sort of thing around, which was really cool. And then because I didn't have enough area in this one envelope for the photos I wanted to put in, I stuck together two smaller envelopes to create a little booklet thing. So you can see there where I've stuck this side down. So that opens up, and this is, I think it's a craft and produce little shop, but it's painted with this beautiful mural of a train. So it's like a railway crossing, and it has all of these animals. So there's the train, there's the steps with the railway crossing sign, and then it's got cows, sheep, pigs. Really, really cool. So I had to take photos of that. So what I did was leave the inside open and slip in a journaling card on either side that I've stamped on as well. So that gives me some more journaling space and places to stick more bits of ephemera that I find along my trips. And then this is just blank, so I can journal on there. I'll stick some more photos if I want to. And then the back page, I might put some words up here. I haven't decided yet how I'm going to do my wording. I might type and print some out or something, so I thought I'd just leave that and do that afterwards. But I was keen to get on and show you this book. So there's one of the bits that I cut out of one of the papers, backed onto, I found some yellow hessian. And then the inside of the covers is just end book page. So that is it. That is my Victoria journal. Absolutely love the way this turned out. It was such a great way of using up these boards that I found on the journal in the secondhand shop and make something beautiful out of them. And thank you very much, Aunty Vera, for the papers this month. They were gorgeous. I loved using those. So check out what everyone else is doing on the blog and see all the different things that people are making with these papers. And then go and check out the shop, because all the products that we've chosen this month and these beautiful papers are on sale for September at Aunty Vera Scrap and Craft. So take care of yourselves. Happy crafting, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.